Welcome into this Lion Legends segment. Benjamin Ray with you. Today we're talking with former UNA women's basketball player Amber Deline, a 4-year standout. She finished up her career as the school's all-time leading scorer and rebounder. Amber, first off, thank you for taking the time to join us. Where are you located right now, and sort of update UNA fans on what you're doing?
Right now, currently I'm working in education administration. I'm back home in Marion County, Alabama. I wear different hats right now in administration. I'm a half-day parent community liaison, which means I work with our homeless students in the system to make sure they're provided for. And then the other half of my day is I'm assistant principal at brilliant schools. So, I've changed. I was in coaching for 15 years, kind of went straight from UNA to college coaching, 3 years at the University of Montevallo, 2 years at Sanford University, 6 years at Aniana, and then 4 years at James Clemens High School. And then felt like I wanted to make a change and go into administration. So the past 2 years, that's what I've been doing.
So we're going to jump into your UNA career and talk about some other things as well. But first off, we're kind of asking everybody this question to sort of open up. But the University of North Alabama, what does it mean to you?
It's a special place. I've always called it my second home. Florence was always an hour away from Hackleburg. And of course, in Hackleburg, there's not much to do. So we went to Florence to do everything, to eat, shop, hang out. So grew up knowing a lot about Florence. UNA is just special. Every time I go back on campus, it brings back so many great memories. I think back to my times there, and it's just – I think about professors. I think about my teammates. The relationships I made with professors and teammates, they still are there today. I can go back to UNA and walk into the gym and see Coach McBrayer and Coach Taff and all my professors that I had in the kinesiology department that had an impact on me, and it's great to see them. And then, there's a group of us as teammates that still come back and try to around homecoming and try to meet up and hang out. So it's just special. I will never take back my time I had there. Anybody I meet now that's a graduate of UNA talks about how much they love their time there. So it just was so special to me in the sense that it was close to home, felt like home, and it still is home when I go back to Florence. Florence is a special town too. I mean, it's got its own unique vibe, and until you truly go to Florence and experience the campus and the life there at UNA, it's hard to describe and put into words, but it is special.
So you took us through all the stops throughout your coaching career. I want to talk about some of the highlights of your coaching career. 2 state championships at Aniana High School. What were those experiences like, winning those blue maps?
It was an awesome experience. As a player, I was never fortunate enough to win a state championship, something that obviously every player wants to do. So when I got to Aniana, had a group of girls there that just truly loved basketball and loved to compete and loved to win. And they were such a fun group to coach. And so it was just all, the first one obviously always means more than the second, but just to have that opportunity to do 2 years of winning that with those group of girls, it just meant a lot. I mean, I say this to everybody that asks me about winning a state championship. It's awesome. It's an awesome experience. But to me as a coach, the things that mean more to me now than those things would be the relationships. To get a wedding invitation or a baby shower invitation in the mail, or a random text message that says, "Thanks for doing this for me. And, because we did this in basketball, I'm able to do this now." And so those types of things truly add up more to me than any amount of wins or championship. But I will not deny the fact that winning those championships were an awesome experience.
All right, let's jump into your career at the University of North Alabama. Outstanding high school career at Hackleburg High School. You choose to attend North Alabama to play basketball. Why UNA?
Well, coming out in high school, if you would have asked me first, I'll be honest, I mean, my dream as a little girl was to go play at Alabama. That I went to all their camps, and it was my dream. And they offered me to walk on with the possibility of getting a scholarship, but that just wasn't, to me, I'd worked too hard, I felt like, to not have my schooling paid for. I had some other small D1 offers, Sanford, MTSU, some other schools around this area that offered, and even some that were far off. But I knew going far off was not an option for me. I wanted to stay close to home. And Coach Porter, I think she got the UNA job my junior year, I want to say maybe. She brought her recruiting profiles with her, and she was at Liberty University. And so she brought her recruiting profiles, and I was on one on their list, and she started recruiting me. And, when I went for my visit there, she sold it to me in the fact that I could come to UNA, I could play all 4 years, I could have an immediate impact, and I could help change the program and help build the program back. And, that spoke volumes to me. So, and just the type of lady she was, like we hit it off big time. So, and I had known a lot about UNA in the sense that my sister went to school there and had been on campus quite a bit. She was a Lineette. So, it just felt right. And so when I, looked at all my options, UNA was the best fit for me, and best decision I made.
Let's jump into your freshman year. You had an outstanding first year at North Alabama, led the team in scoring and rebounding, GSC Freshman of the Year, a first-team all-conference pick as well. You look back at your first year, what do you remember?
It's fun. It was a lot of fun. There was a group of us freshmen that came in, and there was a lot of freshmen and then a lot of upperclassmen. And it was like us freshmen against them that first year, and it was just a lot. The practices were highly competitive. I just remember being challenged big time. I remember 6 a.m. track workout, something I'd never experienced as a high school athlete. It was just a total transformation time, and totally pushed me outside my comfort zone. But, it was either sink or swim, and I decided to swim. And, I remember Coach Porter bring me in her office and set me down. And not a lot of things stick out to me, but this thing I do remember her having a conversation with me with that I wasn't standing out in practice. I wasn't showing up, and I really wasn't showing myself that I was going to be able to maybe have a lot of playing time. And it kind of took me aback because I came to UNA to play for 4 years. So I remember she said that to me, and it's like the light came on, and I remember walking down the back steps of Flowers Hall and my big old Nokia phone calling mom, and it was like, Coach just told me that. So, it kind of set the tone for me that I had to pick it up. So, and I did, that just, it was like from then on it changed, and the light came on, and I was out to prove Coach Porter wrong. And so that was my motivation, is like to prove that I could do it. And, to me, I didn't come in thinking this was going to happen or these individual achievements or accomplishments were going to happen. I just showed up and did my best and wanted to play and wanted to win. And, things just fell into place.
From your freshman year till your senior year, you guys combined to win 67 wins during your career at UNA. You mentioned coming in as a freshman, wanting to change the program to the success you had that final 4th year. I mean, how can you wrap up your 4 years at UNA?
It was Coach Porter left the end of our junior year. So, when anytime you change out with coaching staff, it's an adjustment. And so, but, the 4 years that we had, I felt like we laid a good foundation for people to build upon. We had others before us that had done bigger things than what we had done. But so we had some change there that had to deal with that. But we felt like, we had some good seasons. Obviously, we didn't leave it like as much as we wanted to. We wanted to win a Gulf South Conference championship. We never did make that. I think we won the East side of it my freshman year. But, it was a great time. The thing that I walked away with the most was the friendships that I have for a lifetime from it. And that if you've ever gone through college athletics, the bonds that you form going through so many hard workouts and being on the road with each other and being with each other always, you just form lifetime friendships. And, there was a bunch of us at homecoming this past year that met up that hadn't seen each other in years. And we picked up just like it was 17 years ago. So I think that speaks volumes to the bonds and the friendships and the team chemistry that we had. And those are the things I look back and cherish the most.
All right, so you finished your career as the school's all-time leading scorer and the all-time leading rebounder. So you look back to that conversation you had as a freshman to wrapping up with those career records. I mean, how much of an honor was that?
I mean, it was great. Again, I didn't go into UNA even knowing anything about any records. Obviously, when you get there, you're just trying to survive workouts and trying to have an impact. So I think Jeff Hodges mentioned something to me my end of my junior year, beginning of my senior year, that it was a possibility that I could break the record. And I was like, okay, that's great. You know, and it is. I mean, it was awesome. But records are meant to be broken. And, you know, it's so to leave there and to say that you had achieved that much in 4 years is great. If you ask me, my honest opinion is, would I rather had a team championship more than any individual accomplishment? Yes. And so, but, you know, I'm thankful, and it was just a blessing and just something I didn't ever, you know, write down and say, this is the top of, I want to have this record, that was never me. It just kind of happened. And I'm thankful it did.
So you now sit third on the all-time scoring list. Ivy and Emma Wallen passed you this past year after outstanding 4-year careers at UNA. So I want to back up to your coaching career. There was a showdown between the top 3 scorers in UNA school history back in 2013, January 22nd to be exact. You're coaching the number 1 ranked team in Class 4A. You go up against the number 1 ranked team in Class 3A in Lauderdale County. Amber Deline versus the Wallen triplets, if you will, at that point. But what do you remember about the matchup between the top 3 scorers of all time?
You know, I remember telling the girls that these girls are hard to defend, and they were. You know, they were special players in high school. We felt like we had special players on our team as well. And our girls, that team loved the challenge. You know, so any way I could find to motivate them. That year we tried to really set a tough schedule in hopes that we got to the playoffs, it would prepare us for that. So I remember calling Coach Llewellyn and scheduling that game, and it was on a weeknight, Monday, Tuesday in January, and it was cold, rainy. We got off the bus, and I thought, this is probably not going to go well because it's a long bus ride from Adiana to Rogersville. But our girls got off, and they competed. I know it was a close game, and we got out of there with the win. And of course, Ivy and Emma, before we played them, I knew they were special players. And so, you know, I just look back on that, and it's kind of ironic that because at that time you didn't know they were going to UNA. So it's kind of cool that happened. So, you know, I've never talked about it with them, but it was a great game. I remember that for sure. It was a good game, but it was it's funny now to look back up on that.
And your Adiana team got the win, a 41-39 win. I was able to find out Emma Wallen finished with 11 points in that matchup. But Amber, outstanding career at the University of North Alabama. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.